Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with a early look at Battletech. So, if you guys aren't familiar with this title, it's being developed by Harebrained Studios, who are the guys that did the Shadowrun games, which I quite enjoy. You guys know I'm all about turn-based tactics and stuff like that, and so even though I am not really familiar with that sort of franchise, I still enjoyed those games quite a bit. And then it's being published by Paradox Interactive, which is the guys that do Hearts of Iron, Crusader Kings, Stellaris, and a lot of others. I think they even published Warband, although I don't think they're associated with Tailworlds anymore. So, anyways, Battletech is sort of like a turn-based tactical mech warrior game, and I have had my eye on it for a while. I've been fortunate enough to get a early review copy of the game, and I will be posting this video as soon as the press embargo will allow. So you guys should be seeing this on Thursday, very early morning, at least in my time zone, that is. And I'm not allowed to review the game. I'm only allowed to play it, and I've been asked if I'm going to play it early to warn you guys that there will be spoilers ahead. So there will be spoilers ahead. But yeah, I can't really give you my formal thoughts on the game, but I will say that I've been playing it a little bit before the embargo is lifted, and I got a little bit carried away. I meant to just kind of check it out and familiarize myself with the controls, and I ended up playing for about 5 hours, so take that as you will. Anyways, we're going to be playing the campaign today, and I will try to walk you guys through the various features. Again, I did make sure to figure out how things work before we dive into this so that I can kind of explain the different mechanics to you as we go along. So with that said, if you guys want to see more Battletech following this video, let me know with a like and a comment below. I'm going to keep this video pretty long, actually, because I think it'll actually help it get or gain more traction on YouTube. So I will see. But I'm probably going to cut this around an hour. If you would prefer shorter videos, you're welcome to let me know in the comments as well. But I'm going to run this one a little long and see what happens. So before we dive into the campaign, there is also a skirmish option where you can do multiplayer or single player battles against the AI. From what I've seen, these are usually 4 versus 4 skirmishes, or you can have less, but I think 4 is the maximum. And there's also a mech bay where you can go in and customize the various mechs and stuff, build your own. I wouldn't say build your own, but there are, well, let's look at it real quick. Why not? So essentially what you do in the mech bay is you can look at the mech presets, and you can kind of get a little indication of how it'll look in game here, but mostly it just shows you sort of like the stats and the loadout. And then if you hit copy, you can actually go in and customize this stuff. So you can, pick and choose your parts and then load these into a skirmish battle. In the campaign, you won't be able to use these because you kind of start out with a certain thing and then work your way up from there. But I'll get more into that later. So there's quite a few. Some of them are just variants of a certain frame. So for example, there's the catapult, and this is the catapult C1. There's also a catapult K2, and they have, of course, slightly different loadouts, but it's the same basic mech, just with different guns. And yeah, there's all sorts of them: light, heavy, medium, all the different sizes that you would expect. And then within each of those classes, there's several. And that number right there above the designation is the value of it. Generally, the heavier, more well-armed mechs are more expensive. So lances are effectively squads, and they are sort of given a price value based on, how good or bad the mechs in them are. And that's how you're going to balance battles, whether it's, online or against the AI, is effectively the different, lance values. So in this light assault one, for example, there's 2 light commandos, a medium blackjack, and a medium hunchback. And we'll get more into all the different types later. But let's jump back to the main menu, and we'll jump into the campaign here. I've already played through the early bit of it, so I'll spend most of the early part of the campaign explaining the mechanics to you guys, and then we'll, dive a little bit more into the story.
I am Kamea of House Arano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromidere, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say. A hero would have sacrificed more, compromised less. A hero would have done better. You know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times, about the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great mech warriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Alright, so before we jump into the actual gameplay of the prologue, we get to create a character. I'll kind of talk my way through my decision process here and explain some of the features and mechanics in character creation as we go. But for now, let's just read the little descriptive text. So, the Oregon Reach is a small kingdom in the Rimward Periphery, a region of space that lies at the outskirts of the more densely colonized Inner Sphere. It is home to the Oregon Coalition, a federation organized around a parliamentary monarchy and ruled by the Arano family. For 3 generations under the rule of House Arano, the Oregon Coalition has remained a relatively peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here your story begins. Okay, so the character creation is very similar to like a party-based RPG, where you're kind of picking like a vague background. There's a couple of choices that will determine your skills and give you a couple of dialogue options depending on which ones you pick. So these are all the different places where you can be from. In my experience, they don't seem to have a huge effect on your character, aside from occasionally in certain situations you'll be able to call on these in various dialogue options. So we have the Draconis Combine. I'm not going to read through all this, but I will quickly summarize them, based on the little description here. So these guys are fierce, disciplined fighters, very much like a warrior culture. Then we have the Free Worlds League, or the Marik. These guys are the Karita, so the Marik. Passionate, enduring fighters, all about justice and equality. Then we have the Federated Sons, or Davion. Let's see. Finely honed skills, better equipment, righteous warriors, and champions of liberty. I like the heraldry they got going on there. Then we have the Lyran Commonwealth, or Steiner. I'm not sure what this in parentheses is referring to. It may be like the name of that. Oh, the ruler. Okay, that's what it is. It's the ruler. So these guys are hardy, well-trained, well-equipped, and not particularly strategic, so kind of brutish. One really cool thing about this game is that in any of the text that comes up, whether it be throughout the campaign or in the menus like this, certain keywords will be highlighted in orange, and if you hover over them, you'll get a tooltip to kind of remind you who is the Lyran Commonwealth, or what were the Succession Wars, in case you forgot or you maybe didn't catch it the first time. So that's actually really useful. Then we have the Capellan Confederation, who are steadfast combatants, capable of holding the line, and often surprising those who would make the mistake of underestimating them. Okay, that doesn't tell me a lot about them. Then we have the Magistracy of Canopus. And let's see. Run the gamut from skill and fighting styles, but they often favor clever and unorthodox tactics. Okay. The Taurian Concordat. Stubborn and aggressive, quick to anger, but skilled and perceptive. Then we have the Rimward Periphery. Anything from petty thugs to ruthless tacticians to skilled and honorable warriors. Okay, so they're kind of a mixed bag. And then we have the Deep Periphery. And let's see. Rare, but even rare is the mech warrior who will admit to such an origin. Okay, so it's kind of a shady place. Who do we want to go with? Honestly, it doesn't make a lot of difference. Again, at least from what I've seen, I've only played the early bit of the campaign. I was kind of into the heraldry that they've got going, so let's go with that. And we are of noble birth. Now, in my experience, and I tested this, it doesn't matter which one you pick, you're going to be of noble birth. Even the Deep Periphery, you're of noble birth. So, in that regard, it doesn't affect anything. Now, we meet this guy, who will come into play later. So, I'll read this for you. Though immigrants to the Oregon Reach, your family soon established a comfortable presence in a small backwater system on the edge of the Oregon space. By the time you were born, your family had become the de facto ruling nobility of the system's only inhabited planet. You were the oldest child, heir to the family's titles and ancestral battle mech and old Blackjack BJ-1. Regardless of choice, you're going to get stuck with a Blackjack beginning. And it's a medium mech. We saw it briefly in the hangar. So yeah, just know that no matter which of those factions you choose from, your ancestral battle mech is always a Blackjack. I tested it because I really like the Centurion, and unfortunately there's no way to start with one, at least that I've come across yet. This is where you met Raju Mastiff Montgomery, a veteran of the Succession Wars, whom your parents hired on for a season to train you as a mech warrior. Raju was a strict but capable teacher, and you quickly became a skilled pilot under his tutelage. It was an uneventful life. Until the day after your 16th birthday, when, and here we get to make a choice that's going to affect our stats. Once again, no matter what, you're getting a Blackjack. So, we have Exile, which is going to give us +1 gunnery and +1 tactics. Gunnery affects your shooting skill, so like how likely you are to hit with your guns. And then tactics increases the effectiveness of called shot opportunities. These are pretty rare, so if you're trying to min-max early, I would probably avoid tactics. Let's see. Also reduces the penalty for indirect fire and improves the minimum range of weaponry. In that case, it would be pretty useful, but called shots, in my experience, are very, very rare. So if you're taking tactics, don't take it because of that. Take it for the minimum range and the indirect fire penalties. Indirect fire is actually very useful, so I might change my mind on that. Here we have piloting and tactics. Piloting is going to help us with melee hit chances as well as movement distances. I'll discuss this stuff more when we get into actual combat, but for now, just kind of take it for what it is. Then we have Guts. Guts improves the maximum health of mech warriors. It also reduces the penalty from weapon recoil and increases the threshold of heat that triggers overheated. So basically, Guts is like Constitution. Let's see, died in an accident, we get piloting and Guts, and yeah, these are just different takes on the same stats. Different combinations, I should say. Betrayed, so we have gunnery and Guts, that would be pretty good. Piloting and Guts. Let's go with Betrayed. I like that. So your family was betrayed and its seat of power destroyed. You defeated the betrayers, but you were the sole surviving member of your house. With nothing but your family's ancestral Blackjack left to call your own, you set off to make a new life for yourself. So we'll get 1 gunnery and 1 Guts. Out on your own, you fell into the life of a, and then here we get to make another choice that's going to give us 1 more point into one of our stats. There's only the, what was it, 4? I think there's 4. And you are able to get a +1 Well, you're able to spend up to 3 points, so no matter what, you're going to have at least one skill that you don't improve. I may leave that for tactics, but we'll see. So we can be an Argon Coalition soldier and get another gunnery. That would put us 2 higher than whatever the default is. I think the default is 3. Frontier Pirate would give us 1 guts. Solaris Gladiator would give us 1 gunnery. Inner Sphere Mercenary would give us 1 tactics. Frontier Freelancer would give us 1 tactics. And Merchant Guard would give us 1 piloting. So I think I'm going to go with a Merchant Guard. So you signed on as a guard for a small trading guild, providing security as the guild's caravan made trading runs between the inner sphere and the periphery. It was a largely uneventful life, but you were able to put your mech warrior skills to good use in the occasional scuffle with pirates and uncooperative local governments. So yeah, I'm cool with that. I think having an extra point in piloting would be pretty useful. So let's grab that and move on. Until years later, you cross paths with Raju Mastiff Montgomery once again. While escorting a supply caravan to a small outpost on the outskirts of the Argon Reach, you were set upon by pirates and left for dead. Raju happened to be visiting the capital city and picked up your distress call. Upon rescuing you, he offered you a job in the House Arano Royal Guard. So it is that you find yourself reunited with your old mentor, preparing your ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the coronation day of Lady Kamea Arano. And now here we get to actually create the appearance of our character. Now, one thing I really appreciate about this game is in a lot of RPGs, they will just allow you to pick from a list of portraits, essentially. And the portraits never look like the way your avatar actually does. So, you know, you create this cool character, and then for the UI portrait, you can never quite make it match. But in here, they're one and the same, and you can actually customize it. So you pick a pronoun. It's either he, she, or they. So we'll go with he. And I think these are randomly generated because they don't look this. No, they're the same as last time. So yeah, you can pick one of these, and then if you hit customize, you can actually, you know, change the face. So this guy's a bit old. Let's see. Well, I'll go through all of them. How about that? So we have different makeup options. They're not makeup so much as like, well, actually this might be makeup. I don't know. I was thinking of the tribal tattoos, but there are definitely tattoos. Let's set it to black, and we'll just kind of swing through them real quick. So one is nothing. It looks like that's like eyeshadow or something. Yeah. Yeah, it's all like eye stuff. I mean, I would call that, well, I guess it's not a tattoo. It's more like face paint. Then we have the actual tattoos. Let's see, is there a color for that? No. They're all just kind of like a generic, slightly darker than flesh tone color. A lot of butterflies. Okay. I'm not really into any of that. Scars. Let's see. We'd probably do some scars. I think that would be cool. I mean, we have seen some combat. After all, we killed whoever betrayed our family, and then we were, you know, guarding a caravan that occasionally got attacked. So I think some scars could work. Let's see. I kind of like some of the early ones. These are getting a little bit obscure. I like that. Let's go with that. Hairstyle. We can change the colors over here. Now, I was a bit confused as to how this worked. So if you set the default hair color, or the root color, it changes everything. But then if you go into tips, it changes at least the hair on their head slightly. So I think it's like a highlight color, maybe. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to tell, but I think it's like a highlight color. Anyways, we'll pan through the hairstyles a little bit. So we'll swing back around to 1. 1 is completely bald. 2 is sort of like a swept back look, medium length. Like a more modern hairstyle here. A little bit longer version of that hairstyle. This is kind of like the Viking do with the side shaved and kind of pulled back into a ponytail or something. Balding. Let's see. I think we can pan this around. That's more for the portrait angle than anything. I don't know if we can actually rotate this, but it looks like it's pulled back into a ponytail, as far as I can tell. That's sort of similar. We got real messy, like Jon Snow hair. We got the hair in the face look, like grunge band hair. Mohawk, gotta have a mohawk. Just sort of messy, medium length hair. Real basic short hair. Yeah, I can't quite tell what that is. This looks like a samurai style hair maybe. And then we're back where we started. Let's see. What do we want to go with? Let's go with something like this and then maybe like a fat Viking beard. In fact, we get to make up a call sign. Let's call him Viking if we're going to go with that look. So let's go through the facial hair first. Actually, we'll do the eyebrows since we're right here. I don't want to spend too much time on these because they're just eyebrows, so I'll just kind of go through them real quickly. Sure, we'll do that. Alright, facial hair. Let's go back to 1. So 1 is clean shaven. Ooh, man, you need something to cover that face of yours. So let's see. I mean, that's not bad, but let's keep going. We got the goatee, small beard, big beard, scruff. Yeah, we want the big beard. There we go. And then you can change their expression, so not just their general face, but actually like the look that they're giving currently. We got, what is that, a little bit of side eye? I don't know. Let's go with, sure, we'll do this one. And then complexion just kind of changes the lines in their face. So this is obviously much younger looking. This is a little bit more weathered. Kind of young looking again with some sort of spots on the face. I like 2. 2's simple enough for me. And then we can actually change the clothing as well. There's only like 3 or 4 outfits and then a couple of colors within each. So we have whatever this like armor thing is in sort of just like a generic black. Then we have a green one and then a red and black one. And then looks like black and yellow, a little bit of orange. Then we get to this big like puffy collar thing in brown and green, sort of like a tan, blue, black and gray. And then we have this sort of open collared one in, looks like just plain black, darker black with a little bit of green. This looks like it has a little bit of maybe like yellow or gold accent. Sort of dark purple and like a black and red. I like this one in just sort of like a drab color like that. Very military looking. Let's change up the hair color a little bit. I think we'll go slightly lighter. Let's see. What other options do we have? There's kind of obscure colors. You can do like fairly red and stuff like that. Let's go with, we'll just do something simple. Just like brown hair like that. Eyes. Let's see. We got blue, green. I think this is probably like amber. Sort of like a less saturated green, brown, purple. And then, yeah, you get the idea. Let's go with, we'll just go with that. And then we can change the skin tone. There's actually quite a few. Let's see. We'll go with, I don't know, what we started with is fine. Let's just leave it at that. And then you can change their lip color, which apparently, okay, you can give them like dark purple lipstick. I think we were good with just the regular, like that. And then we didn't actually put any makeup on, so we will just leave that as generic. And so we're going to go with that appearance. Now, if you struggle with naming your characters, you can just randomize these. So let's see. This is your call sign. So we have Marquis, Hard Rock, Shiva, Batfish, Razorcat, Rusty, Hickory. There's some less ridiculous ones, but we're just going to go with Viking, given our beard and whatnot. And then let's see. Is there any good names? Ricardo, Carrie, William, Levy, Nicholas, Freddie, Christopher, Renz, Nicolaj, Matvey, Hyunwoo, Ezra, Nimrod, Killian, Francis, Luca, Justin, Firkin. Let's go with kind of a sci-fi name, like Firkin Muller. Sure, why not? Alright, so that's character creation. Again, these are all just the male ones. I hope we don't lose our preset. Okay, good. Here's all the female ones, and then if you go with they, I think you get to pick anything you want and just kind of customize it in between. So yeah, we'll go with he, we'll go with our custom character, and we've got them all named, so let's move on. So then we get into the summary page, and yeah, there's 4 stats. Again, we put 1 point into gunnery, piloting, and guts. You could go all into, well, you can't go all in, because none of the double ones overlap. So I think the best you can have in any one skill to start is 4 points, and the worst you can have is 2. So we're a little bit more generalized than I guess we could be, but not by much. So let's move on. Alright, so it's going to make me mess around with the camera a little bit here. We can also do that with the mouse. Let's see, Q or E to rotate. They don't tell you this, but you can also right click and drag. Oh, it's going to interrupt me here. But you can right click anywhere on the screen and drag the mouse around and rotate the camera that way. Okay, Viking, I had the Espinosa refit yards rush the repairs on your Blackjack. Looks like it's all in one piece, but we should run some diagnostics on it just to be sure. Standard field tests, you know the drill. More importantly, though, I want to tell you about the job I brought you out here to do. Now do me a favor and get that battle mech moving. Let's see if there's any kinks in the actuators. Okay, so as I mentioned before, this is like turn-based tactical combat, so...
I'll come right out and say it, kid. I wasn't completely honest with you the other day. There's gonna be more to this job than escort duty.
Okay, so it pretty much controls exactly as you expect. Here's a rundown on all our weapons that we currently have fitted. Now, we can toggle or untoggle these, but essentially what will happen is anytime you attack something, anything that's in range and capable of firing on the target will, unless you disable it here. It is worth noting that if you hover over these, you'll get a better rundown on the weapon, and you can see like the accuracy, the damage and whatnot, but the red number that says heat under it is very important, because as you fire your weapons, this meter here in black will eventually fill up with red, and when it hits a certain level, your mech will overheat. So if you don't think you need certain weapons to fire in order to defeat something, you may want to hold back on those certain weapons, especially if they distribute a lot of heat like these lasers do. So like these AC2s, for example, only give 5, whereas all the lasers give double that. So you do need to manage your heat, but we'll get more into that later. For now, we're just going to move here. So we click this, we click on that spot, and then it gives us a facing. You can only rotate it so far based on the direction you're approaching from. So for example, if we move that way, we'd only be able to kind of rotate it in a cone facing that general direction. But for now, we'll just head this way and face at those targets up ahead. I brought you here because there's something wrong in the capital. It's been too quiet since High Lord Tamati's funeral, and I'm worried about Lady Kamea's safety during her coronation procession. Anyway, looks like your actuators check out. Let's conduct a weapons test. Target one of those burnt out old urban mechs and open fire.
Like I was saying, I can't prove anything, but my gut tells me something's off, and a warrior trusts their instincts.
So to fire, we select our mech, and it looks like it's already selected. And then we can pick a target here. These are both the same mech, it looks like. So it doesn't really matter which one we fire at. But we'll pick this, and it'll show our line of sight. If there's anything intervening, it'll tell you. And then we get a rundown of the mech. This one's light. We can see the health of all the various parts on it, and any weapons that it might have. So if this were actual combat, we would look at maybe the arms and it would say, you know, okay, there's like a medium laser on that body part. Maybe we'll target that one over a weaponless part to make sure that they can't fire back or try to disable their weapons. But right now, because we don't have any, you know, special targeting fire or anything, that's what I was discussing earlier about the precision shots. We don't have a precision shot, so it's just kind of all or nothing. We fire at the guy and hope we hit. And we're going to use all of our weapons. So we'll be firing several lasers and then these AC-2s, which are sniper autocannons. And let's just let loose.
All weapons committed.
Oh, we hit him so hard the game hung up a little bit there. But yeah, outright destroyed him. Good shot. Your guns are in working order at least. I've been training Lady Arano since she was 14 years old. She can be naive at times and proud, but I have no doubt she'll be a just and effective ruler. It's on us to see her safely to Cordia City. I'll rest easier once she's in the capital with her cousin Victoria by her side. Lady Victoria, well, she's only been training under me for a single season, but she's already shaped herself into one of the strongest mech warriors I've ever seen. Reminds me a lot of you, truth be told. Anyway, we should run a check on your targeting computer. You see that drone over there on the... you see that drone over there? The one moving through the tree line? Put some hurt on it for me, and then when it turns, take it out with a rear angle shot. After it's down, we'll keep moving.
Kamea's like a daughter to me, and her late father, High Lord Tamati, was a good friend.
So we'll target this thing. Oh, we gotta select him first. We'll target it. And again, we can see all the various parts of this tank. But, you know, we don't have a precision shot or anything. We're just going to hit it with everything we've got. So let's let loose. There's a better look at the weapons firing. And then he's going to move, turn his back to us.
No punches, but she's been a loyal companion to Kamea since they were kids. Aside from you, there's no one I'd rather have by my side in a fight.
So it's going to turn its back to us, and then we're going to hit it once again and destroy it. Down it goes.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Nice shot. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with Oregon politics, but the Reach was badly shaken by High Lord Tamati's death. It needs a smooth transfer of power, and Kamea belongs on the Cormorant throne. Some of these names. Go ahead and fire up your jump jets, kid. I want to see you descend this cliff face. Aim for that patch of ground there near the edge of the lake. Okay, so we're going to select our character once more, and we'll use the jump ability to hop on down. I'm not super impressed with the jump ability. It does make traversing rough terrain a little bit easier, but the movement range of it is less than if... Well, it's about the same as if you were running normally. It's just that you can do it over things that you wouldn't normally be able to run over. So in that way, it's helpful, but in terms of just actual movement, it's not really an improvement. And then we'll face this mech over here.
Enemy detected.
A little bit of damage there.
Jump jets build a lot of heat, and that was more than your engine could handle. Head on into that water. We need to get you cooled off.
So as I was talking about before, heat management is a big thing in this game. You can see that the mech is bright red because it's so hot, and our meter is full, actually completely full. So one way that you can deal with that is actually just walking into water, and it'll cool you off. Also, not firing your weapons for a turn can help. Movement doesn't seem to affect it, so you can still move, maybe get yourself into cover or something. And in my experience, melee attacks don't do anything regarding heat either. So if you're close to an enemy, you can still melee attack without worrying about overheating yourself further. But every turn that you're overheated, you will do structural damage to your mech, so you want to kind of mitigate that by either avoiding it in the first place or dealing with it as soon as possible. Warning, plasma leak detected. Jump jet malfunction. Jump jet systems damaged. System inoperable until repaired. Oh, for the love of all the gods. This is what I get for insisting on a rush job. Not that I had much of a choice. The Espinosa refit yards were backlogged like you wouldn't believe. It looked like they were trying to process every single Royal Guard mech in time for the coronation. There isn't any time to get your jets replaced, so we're going to have to make do without them. Go ahead and take that mech down with a melee attack. I want to be sure nothing else is going to break down on your blackjack before we take it out on the Cormorant Road. Alright, so walking in the water depleted our heat a little bit there. And I guess we'll be able to test my theory here about melee attacks. So to melee something, you just need to move into adjacency with it. It'll already have the targeting thing on it. So if we click like so, with the movement ability opened and hit attack, it will automatically do it for us. Melee attacking using piloting skill to hit, ignores evasive, hit removes guarded, deals damage, and stability damage. Stability is basically how likely something is to fall over. If you see something is unstable, you want to keep the pressure on, because if you knock something down, it can't return fire or fight back. Guarded is effectively like using cover or other protection. You can brace yourself, so that would give you the guarded ability. And then using sprint while not allowing you to attack does improve your evasion, because in theory you're moving faster. So if somebody sprints, a good way to deal with that is to try to melee them immediately after and avoid it. It is worth mentioning as well, though, that firing on something does, even if you miss, lower their evasion. So each successive shot on the same target will increase the chance to hit. Good hit. At least that's solid. Alright, one last test. I want you to take your blackjack up to a sprint and evade my attack.
Push that engine, kid. If something goes wrong today, I want to know that your mech can maneuver.
So yeah, that didn't give us any additional heat. In fact, it depleted what we had left by not using anything that increased it. So we're going to sprint now. Sprinting works just like it does in XCOM or any other modern turn-based tactical game, in that a regular movement will only use up effectively one action, and then the other action can be spent firing, whereas a sprint will use up both actions. So we're going to sprint to the furthest point here. I wonder if I can show you guys that real quick. I don't see any here, but if you look at the white dots are essentially the grid spaces that you can move to. There will occasionally be yellow dots that have a slight outline around them, and those are spots that have some sort of cover. There's none here, though, and obviously it's irrelevant to the situation anyways, but it's worth keeping an eye out for. And we'll just move straight ahead. Because we sprinted, we will get +1 to our evasion. And that should help us avoid his shots, which I'm pretty sure miss every single time. And you can see that even though he missed, because he fired at us, it did lower our evasion again. Congratulations, Viking. Your blackjack's as combat ready as it can be, given the circumstances. I mean, like, we kind of broke it, but sure. For what it's worth, I hope that my suspicions turn out to be unfounded, and that we end the day having a good laugh about what a paranoid old man I've become. But if not, then I know that you'll be ready. Alright, it's time to move out. Lady Arano is waiting for us at the mech bay.
An impressive display, Sir Raju. Of course, this mech warrior was a student of yours. I'd expect them to know their way around a cockpit.
So we'll start moving this way. Now, Mastiff gets a Centurion, and this one, at least in the ones I've used so far, is my favorite. It is a little bit more geared toward melee combat. The left arm has like a little shield on it, and you can't equip a gun to it. But rather than headbutting with your mech like the Blackjack does, he punches with that left arm, and it's a much cooler animation, and it seems to be more effective, I think, just because it's a slightly heavier mech. Viking, allow me to introduce Kamea Arano, the soon-to-be High Lady of the Aragon Coalition. Is Lady Victoria on this channel? For the time being, my father has summoned me to the Picton docks. I have a fleet inspection and a tour of the family refit yards to preside over before the coronation. Behold the responsibilities of a noble daughter, a fount of tedium that never runs dry. I know the feeling, cousin. By this time tomorrow, I'll be responsible for the entire reach. Give my best to your father, and don't be late for the tourney. The gambling dens are already taking bets on how long it'll take me to cripple that customized monstrosity you pilot. Laughing. Bold words, cousin, but the only victory they'll be celebrating is mine. You may be ascending the throne today, but my Kaga is more than a match for the family heirloom that you call a battle mech. And in the arena, I reign supreme. We'll see, cousin, we'll see. At any rate, I will see you at the tourney grounds. Sir Raju, I'm ready to go when you are. Overland along the Cormorant Road, as is the Arano tradition. Aye, Kamea, we'll get you there in one piece. Viking, fall in behind me. And remember what I told you.
I remember the Oregon Reach of old, the time of the Great Expansion. I was just a boy then. Proudly we went forth, bringing the light of our coalition to so many systems. And for what? To see our great kingdom slowly waste away? Year after year, the Council deliberates while our economy falters, and the wolves bay at every door, while covetous neighbors plot against us. Well, I say, it can go no further. We are here today because if Lady Arano will not act, someone must. I know what I'm asking of you. You will face former comrades, or even loved ones, on the battlefield. I take up arms against my own niece. But remember, today we sacrifice so that tomorrow we can return our kingdom to its proper glory, to its proper strength. So should you fall tonight, know that you did so as true heroes of the Reach. To your stations, for the Directorate!
Damn, that got me kind of hyped. I feel like we might be on the wrong side here. Like, where's our, pep talk? Anyways, I'm gonna miss this, Raju. The clarity of purpose that I feel in the cockpit of a battle mech. The simplicity of it. But there they are, just up ahead, the city gates. And my future, all laid out before me. Wait, what's that smoke? A guard post. One of the small ones that dot the roads leading into the capital. But the emergency band's been quiet all morning. I haven't heard anything about any fire.
This is damned odd, and I don't like it. Kid, keep your head on a swivel and be ready for anything.
Alright, so here we go. The way this works is the movement is always turn-based. However, when you're not in combat, you effectively get to move all three of your characters every turn. Once you jump into combat, well, I'll just explain it as we go. For now, let's sprint toward our destination there. We're going to keep him in front because he's got the heaviest mech, and it can take the most punishment. Then, let's see. I feel like we should probably keep her in the middle, maybe. Some sort of explosion. Looks recent, too. Do you think it was an accident? No chance. You see those scorch marks on the rubble? That's laser fire. We need to get you out of here, Kamea, right now. Yes, I think you're right. There's a patrol of Royal Guard mechs up ahead. We should go to them.
Whatever's happening here, I won't let it derail your coronation.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Thank you, Raju. I will prove myself worthy of the faith you've placed in me.
Of that, I have no doubt.
Alright, we'll keep moving. Let's see. How do we want to handle this? Now, those guys could be hostile. In fact, well, I know that they are. So, let's keep moving. I'm going to take the high ground, though. We'll go this way through the destroyed outpost here, and then we can go down that little slope. And let's see, we'll keep her close to him, and I will kind of bring up the rear, just to make sure we don't get flanked or anything. Alright, Mastiff, you're taking point.
Moving out.
Because we're moving on slightly rougher terrain here, we're going to be a little bit less efficient, I guess.
I'll make it happen.
And here's a better example of those dots I was talking about. So the yellow ones with the lines around them, or the little outline, are areas where you get cover. These white ones have no cover. So it's, you know, worth keeping that in mind as you're moving, because once you engage, you kind of want to be engaged somewhere where you have a little bit of protection. Alright, hopefully we can reach them this turn. It's taken us a while to get there. Nope, nope, we want to keep you moving. How far can you get? Not very. Again, we're going through rough terrain here. I guess we can sprint into that zone. That should trigger it. Let's sprint you to there.
Copy that.
We'll put her... Is there any other cover? Hail, Mastiff. Hail, Lady Arano. We were preparing for Lady Arano's coronation parade when we got word of a disturbance along the Cormorant Road. A guard post behind us was attacked. Siraju found evidence of laser fire. Is the road behind you clear? Aye, all the way to the southern gate. Lead the way, Siraju. We'll fall in behind you and guard your 6. Tell me something, guardsman. If the road is clear, why is your battle mech damaged? Our mechs are overdue for maintenance, but that isn't important right now. We need to worry about Lady Arano's safety. Now, my lady, if you'll come with us. No, you're lying to us. It's my coronation day. No mech tech would have sent you out for parade duty in that condition. I am your sovereign, sir. You will tell me what happened here. Damn it, girl. We don't have time for this. Take them. Kill the old man and the mech warrior, but leave Lady Arano alive.
Fall back, Command. Get behind us.
Alright. So here we go.
You trained me to fight.
Safeties disengaged.
Sweet. Ah, man, so he's... Oh, did they miss? Yeah, they missed.
Barely a scratch.
Oh, no, apparently it hit. It just didn't do a whole lot of damage. So there's, like, sort of an initiative thing here. It's difficult to tell how exactly this works, but effectively we can choose any one of our 3 characters to move. Actually, no, we can't. So I think he has a higher initiative. Although, I'm not sure where that's represented. It may be this 4, because these guys have a 3. That one's a 3, and you're a 4. So I think that number is initiative. So that means that Mastiff can go. These 2 can go in any order we want. Effectively, in my next turn, I'll be able to pick which one I want to move. And every time they come around, I can choose to use them in a different order, as long as their initiatives are the same. So if one of them is in a more opportune position to do something at that given time, we can have them go instead of the other. Let's have you just light this guy up point blank. Although, you're not in cover right now, so let's move you a little bit closer. Let's do that. Actually, we could go melee this guy. No, let's move up. Alright. And then he's got a Panther, which I believe is lighter than the Centurion, but I could be wrong. Anyways, let's target him, and we'll just kind of light him up. Let's see. He's got an SRM-4. I'm not too familiar with that one. And then he's got a light laser. That's what the L is for. Yeah, it is a light mech. So melee attack would have been pretty useful there, actually. But that's fine. We'll just light him up from here. And we were able to blow one of his weapons off there. And most of that left arm. This is the Shadowhawk. I'm not too familiar with this one either. I think that's similar to the Centurion, just a little bit less specialized. It looks similar in size.
That was sloppy, lad.
Alright, so who do we want to go next? Let's see. So, you may notice as I move here, you see these red lines. Depending on where we are, they'll either be straight lines, which means we have a direct line of fire, or they'll be arced lines, which means we have an indirect line of fire. So I'm going to put her in cover right here. And we're going to have her use indirect fire on these guys while staying relatively safe. So we'll target... Let's target the big guy. And effectively, those are like rocket mortars. They fire very high and come down on the enemy. And I believe she's the only one that has that. The Centurion might. The Centurion I used in my one practice skirmish did, but his Centurion may be a different variant, so it's hard to say. But hers definitely does, and mine definitely does not. I don't know if we're going to have line of sight here. It looks like there is a little bit of intervening terrain there. I can't even tell who... Oh, it's on him. Yikes. We might be firing into our buddy there. I'll try it, though.
All weapons committed.
Some of those hit. Oh, destroyed his heat sink. I'll take that. I will gladly take that. And then we did a little bit more damage. Alright, another turn. Let's see. Mastiff again. Why don't you light up that Shadowhawk? That's a medium mech, so I don't know how effective a melee attack will be. Instead, why don't you just fire it in point blank?
Affirmative.
And let's see. That did some damage, certainly, but it didn't destroy anything. He's still got shields up. That's what that little yellow is. We're down on shields, but this thing has a ton of armor, so we should be alright.
You need more practice.
Okay. Let's see. I think the Panther's oh wait, no. I think the Shadowhawk is a greater threat right now. So let's keep firing on him. That wasn't that great. Let's see, what are you gonna do? Oh, melee attack from behind. Ooh, expose the structure a little bit. That's not good. When the structure's exposed, they're basically setting themselves up to do more damage later. So you want to avoid that wherever possible. Let's move into slightly better position. And then we're going to unload on that Panther, since I think we don't have a shot on the other. So yeah, we'll give everything we've got. How is our heat looking? It'll warn you, by the way, if you're about to go into overheat. And also you can see it right there. So this little flashing orange thing is how much heat we're going to take on by firing this. If you're about to go over into the overheat threshold, it will warn you before you fire, but in this case we're fine.
All weapons committed.
Now because he's in cover, we have a harder time hitting him, but we were able to do some damage there and destroy a heat sink.
Critical damage.
I am pretty pleased with that. So Mastiff is up, and I think we're going to want to, let's see. Let's get behind this guy. I'm going to move to there. And I don't think it'll let me melee attack him if I do that. But I can still fire into his back. And I think that'll be more useful than trying to punch him square up in the front armor.
Copy that.
It also puts him between me and the other enemy. So that's useful as well.
Giving him everything I've got.
Oh, down he goes. So forget that second part. He's just a pile of scrap now.
What a waste.
Gotta watch that heat, though. So he's up. What is he gonna do? Looks like he's gonna fire on... Oh, he's gonna back up. And he's gonna fire on me. Did a little bit of damage there, but nothing too bad.
Warning.
Still got plenty of armor left. Okay, so let's see. Let's have you move up to cover there and fire back. And let's see, we've got some pretty good hit chances here. Everything's 80 or better.
All weapons.
Not in melee range, so yeah, we'll just let him have it. Oh, a few of those missed. Nice. So not only did we destroy a weapon arm, but we destroyed ammo storage, and that explosion did more damage.
You have my attention.
Let's see, just fire on him from there.
Copy that.
Cool. I thought that was going to be indirect, but apparently we did have a line of sight, and it was enough to do a pretty good amount of damage. Knocked him down as well, so now we can just run up there and finish him off. Injured the pilot as well, so it'll be less effective. Let's see, so Mastiff.
Orders.
Go, oh, are you just short of being able to melee him? That's really disappointing. Can you sprint in melee? No, apparently you can't. Sensor lock, brace. Let's see, in that case we'll just move you in this direction and have you shoot him.
Confirmed.
Unless Viking goes before this guy, but honestly, let's just finish him. Okay, cool. We get a precision shot or a called shot. We get to actually pick a location. So, let's see. He has an AC-5 still, but where is it? SRM-2 is there. Medium laser. Oh, the head has it. Well, let's take out the SRM-2 in the torso. Oh, sorry, I have to do it here. My bad.
Here we go.
Center torso was destroyed, and the whole thing went up. So it's done. Here we go. Kamea? More and more static. Kamea, can you hear me? Alexander, we were just attacked. The Royal Guard, my own guardsmen, tried to take me prisoner. It's happening here too. The Royal Guard are killing one another in the halls. Lord Carosa's house guard just got gunned down in front of me. The tourney pavilion is a slaughterhouse. I won't let these seditionists, or whoever they are, steal my birthright. We need to rally every loyalist we can find and make a push on the capital. I'll take the throne by force if I must. Go to Rotorua? I don't know. Go to Rotorua Township, to the armory. Your soldiers are using it as a rally point. I heard Lord Decimus send his house guard there a few minutes ago. Someone's here. I have to move. Rally what forces you can and meet me at the tourney grounds. Be safe. You heard him, Mastiff. Rotorua Township. We'll go there, rally our fighters, and march on the southern gate with an army at our back. Kamea, I know you and Lord Madeira are friends, but we can't take what he told you on faith. Right now, we don't know who we can trust. In this case, we do. Alexander has been my closest friend and confidant for as long... It's confidant, I should pronounce it properly. For as long as I can remember, his loyalty is beyond question. I trust him with my life and yours. Now take me to the armory. As you command, my lady.
Traitors in the guard. And I fear this is only the beginning.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of movement here.
Keep close and remember your training. Things are likely to get ugly between here and there.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of movement between here and our destination, so I'm going to probably cut most of this out and I'll come back when we get back into the action.
Roger that. I'm getting a sensor trace.
Nope, apparently we already got enemies again, so scratch that. Let's see, Viking, let's get you up there as well. She's a bit behind because she was, you know, standing in cover back there, so it's going to be hard to get her up into this fight. So we're entering combat. Mastiff is up first. Those guys are pretty far off in the distance. Now, we have two options here. We can either go straight at them, or we can do what I recommend, and that's, again, trying to claim some high ground. So let's move that way.
Moving out. We've got company.
And then those tanks will start coming at us. I think one of them is like a missile truck, and that's really the one you need to watch out for. The tanks... Oh, sorry, I need to do some sort of action. We'll just brace him. The tanks don't do a ton of damage, but the missile trucks can do quite a bit of damage. They are very squishy, though, so long as you put them down before they are able to pose any real threat to you, you should be fine. Let's sprint her to there. Wait, why didn't you move?
Standing by.
Sprint to here. Now, she's untouched, so she's got plenty of armor left. Her heat should go away by the time we get anywhere where she can fire. And if we need to, we can let her take a few shots, just because her, you know, her mech is still in pristine condition. And then, let's see, let's get Viking moved up. I'm going to have him probably stay on the low ground and just kind of keep these guys busy while the Centurion, you know, moves into a better position. Especially since the Blackjack didn't take a ton of damage either. The Centurion, I think, got most of that last fight. So we only have eyes on one target right now. It's a Galleon, which is a, it looks like a tank with maybe some sort of like mortar gun on it. This looks like a more traditional tank. This looks maybe more like motorized or mechanized artillery. And I think that's another tank. So let's target you. And I don't know the damage outputs of these well enough, like in regard to how much fire I would need to put on this without overkill. So I'm just going to let him have everything. But just know that there's probably a better way to do this. Once you're more familiar with how much damage actually gets output by those, like effective damage, not just the raw numbers, you'd probably want to minimize, you know, not firing everything unless you absolutely have to, because again, we took a lot of excess heat there, and there is ammo, so that's something that you need to consider as well. There's the missile truck, and that didn't really hurt us too bad. I think that was this one. Yeah, and this is a striker. Maybe the striker is the missile truck. Yes, it is. Okay. That did a little bit more damage. Still not a lot, but it did some. Alright, so it's Mastiff's turn again.
Got my attention.
We're going to try to sprint him up here.
Roger.
And I think if we can get him to like right there, he can fire down on them. So we'll go for that. Let's see. This is a Scorpion, so this is just like a main battle tank. One shot. Does decent damage, but it's only one. So it's got a lot less chance of, you know, hitting something vital.
Yes, I hear you.
Let's see. If I move her to there, I can have her fire a rocket volley. Come on. So let's do that.
I'm on the move.
She may have a direct line of sight on one of the other vehicles as well, but we'll see what the best shot is. That doesn't look like she has line of sight. Interesting. I would think if anything it'd be the opposite. How do I get that gone? How do I get rid of it? Multi-target. That's an interesting thought. 1 and 2. No, let's just do regular attack. And it looks like we have a line of sight or something on this. Maybe it's just a rocket volley, but I'd rather destroy that anyways, so let's see. Well, we hit. We didn't do a whole lot of damage, though. And now it's Viking's turn. Apparently we have to move up to fire on those guys. Let's get to that spot of cover right there. And then if we still have a line of sight on the striker, I think that's where I'm going to target it. Or what I'm going to target. It's not great. This is a better shot. Let's see. It won't let me click back. I don't think we actually have a line of sight there. This is good enough, though. It's all 80%. We definitely have a clear shot, so we'll take it. And that should be destroyed. Perfect. There's still a vehicle back there, and then we still have the other striker to deal with. Hopefully we don't eat a face full of missiles. What is this one? Oh, another striker, yeah. So these guys are potentially lethal. We gotta be careful. Yeah, a lot of those hit. That's never good. Yeah. We'll be fine. Okay. Now what? More missiles in the face? Yes. Oh, structure exposed. That is no good. And this is orange now, yeah. Taking some pretty good damage there. Mastiff really needs to get in position here. Unfortunately, there's no direct line of fire there. You would think so, given where he is, but okay. Go there, so at least you can start helping out. And it looks like I was right. This one does have the missile barrage as well, so it is just a basic Centurion. Let's hit this one, because I think Viking has a pretty good shot on the other one, and this looks like a direct line of fire. So let's do it. Nice. Yeah, see, that was all overkill. It was destroyed with the first shot, and everything else just, you know, destroyed the debris. Alright, Viking. I'm going to move you up and have you fire, because I'm pretty sure you can kill this guy here. Although you are going to overheat a bit if I do this. Let's see. How much of this can I get rid of? That's still going to overheat us. I wonder how many... Well, you know what? If I ditch 2 lasers and do those, that's still less. Yeah, we'll do that. Although, we should probably do that instead, because those have a better chance to hit. Perfect. We did just enough to kill it without overheating ourselves. We'll need to make sure we retick those boxes, though. Otherwise, we'll be firing at, like, you know, 2/3 capacity. So let's keep moving forward. We're back to sprinting now that we've cleared out the enemies. We can move her through this little valley. And Viking will keep you in cover just to be safe. Kamea! Kamea, do you read me? It's Espinosa, your uncle. Do you hear me? House Espinosa is usurping the throne. Oh, that's written kind of weird. I almost, like, I knew it wasn't the uncle, but I was like, why would the uncle be saying that he's usurping the throne? No, he's saying that it is the uncle who is doing this. It can't be. My uncle, Victoria. Kamea, I just watched an Espinosa battle mech plow through an alley full of civilians. This is happening, and it's happening now. Your loyalists have fallen back to the market district. That's where they're making their stand. What's left of the Royal Guard are doing their best, but there's something wrong with their battle mechs. Wait, what's that sound? Oh gods.
Alexander!
Oh, that orbital barrage.
Oh no. No, no. We're too late.
Right, well, we're going to keep moving. Nothing we can do about that now. Bleed off a little bit of heat there. It's over, Kamea. Your ascendancy, the Arano legacy, all of it. Victoria, what have you done? You know, Kamea, for years I loved you like a sister, but then my father helped me see it. Your father's complacency, what it's done to the Reach. Our nation dwindles like a dying star, and House Arano is to blame. My father offered you a path to glory. I'd have fought under your banner proudly, served as your strong right hand. It was like a knife in my heart when you turned him away. Damn it, Victoria, I taught you better than this. You taught me lies. Kamea, for the love I once bore you, I'm going to give you a chance to surrender. I'll even spare the old man and his mech warrior if you stand down now. I don't want to see you hurt, but you cannot be allowed to rule. I'll see you hanged for this, Victoria. You and your father both, do you hear me? You're traitors to the Reach, and I will fight you to the last. Then you truly are a fool. I'll spare you in spite of yourself, but you've cost your royal escort their lives. Oh, we got more contacts, and I think we're going to be dealing with mechs this time.
Attention, all Espinosa forces. This is Lady Victoria Espinosa. Lady
Yes, we are.
Arano is to be apprehended and taken alive by my command. Fail to follow these instructions, and you will have me to deal with.
Okay, so we've got 3 mechs that we're dealing with here. This one is a medium mech. The Cicada? Sure, we'll go with that. We have a Locust, and that one behind this looked like it may have been a Locust. No, that one's got like arms. Either way, this is a big target and it's front and center, so let's give it everything we've got.
Copy that.
Oh, we took a leg out, nice. And knocked it down, fantastic. So not only is it going to be having trouble moving from here on out, but obviously it's downed and not going to be able to attack in its next turn. So that's going to be pretty useful. That was actually a really good opening barrage there. Now, Mastiff is probably going to take quite a bit of heat here, but he is in cover. So, you know, that's about all we can do for him. And he is in the most durable mech, so if anybody's going to be getting shot at, it's, you know, better that it's him and not the other lighter mechs. Oh, flanking maneuver, huh? Well, now you just showed... Oh, he took damage on himself. Interesting. So yeah, he hurt himself with that one, but he did hurt us as well. I'm going to let Viking go here, and we're going to try to maneuver to a place where I can just unload on this thing. That's cover, but I'd rather be behind him. Unfortunately, I don't know they'll be able to. So I'll take the cover instead, and we're just going to point blank this guy. I actually probably could have meleeed him pretty effectively there, but let's give him a full barrage instead. We'll make sure we have all the lasers going.
All weapons committed.
Right leg's out. Is that it? Oh, there we go. Got the arm as well and a knockdown. I think we destroyed one of his weapons. Injured the pilot as well, so it'll be less effective moving forward, and then Kamea gets to go. Probably going to need to sprint her forward. No. We might be able to make that work. Either way, we have indirect fire, but I'd prefer to get a direct shot. That way we'll get it for sure. This one is kind of iffy, but she'll be in cover there. She is at full health, though, so I'm going to be a little bit aggressive. And let's see. You're downed, so we're going to target you. And we'll call the shot in the center, I suppose.
Copy that.
That wasn't that impressive. Okay, so you're back up, but you are significantly less effective than you were at the start. I'd be surprised if he could move much further than that. Wow, look at you go. Far enough. Still has some lasers as well, and it looks like he's trying to take out our weapon arm on the Centurion there.
Incoming transmission.
Attention, citizens of Cormorant 6. This is Lord Santiago Espinosa. With the unanimous support of the founding houses, I have assumed for your own protection, I urge you to remain calm and stay indoors until otherwise instructed. All hostile units, stand down, and you have my oath that you will not be harmed. Resist, and you will.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to make a ruckus while he was talking, but I didn't want to stop playing either.
His faith in that man. I gave him my trust. He was family.
Oh, come on. You can do better than that. I was hoping we could finish him with that stomp, but apparently not. So he's going to get back up. We'll have to do a little bit more damage to put that one down for good. Are you trying to run away? Yeah, I think they're going to get away. Don't know if he has any weapons left. Apparently he does. Looks like that missed, though. The entire barrage did. I'll take that. And let's see. Kamea. Let's get you... You can go melee that thing. Sure, why not? That'll be fun. We'll get her up into the battle as well. That camera is having a hard time there, isn't it? Nice.
You chose the wrong side.
Put that thing down quick. Alright, and then Mastiff will let you melee the other one to death.
Aye, aye. To hell with the weapon.
Bam. Kamea, do you read me? Alexander, thank the gods. I thought I'd lost you when the bombs fell. You very nearly did. Kamea, the city is lost. We have to get off this planet. We need to do it now. I can't abandon Cormorant. This is my home, my birthright. The battle's over, Kamea. Lord Madeira has the right of it. It's time for you to run, escape from this madness, and live to restore the coalition another day. You're both right. My uncle is one. The Reach is his. We'll mourn for it later, the both of us. For now, you need to move. I have a dropship waiting at Shepherd's Pass. I'm on my way there right now. Hurry and meet me there, please. We're on our way.
You get to that ship, Alexander. I mean it. We will not lose you and my throne on the same day.
I'm sensing a less than, or maybe more than strictly business relationship between those two. Looks like we've got some more hostiles coming in here. We should be seeing another mech enemy as well before this is out. Okay. Right. So... Oh, it's got to be one of you. Let's see. Where can I get you into cover? That looks like cover. Yeah. We'll take that then. We should have a line of sight on both of those vehicles as well. Striker and a Scorpion. I'll take the Scorpion right now because it's out in the open.
All weapons committed.
Is that going to be enough to do it? Perfect. Looks like it was just enough. One of our missiles hit this tree or something. But we got him. We'll take it. Our turn again. Let's get Kamea up into the fight. That works for me.
I'll do what you ask.
It's indirect shot. It might be enough to take the Striker down though, because they, again, are kind of squishy. They're more like glass cannons than anything. So this might be enough, it might not.
I'm on it.
Nope, not enough. He is in cover, so I'm not surprised by that. It actually didn't appear to do a whole lot of damage. And apparently poor Mastiff's going to eat another barrage. Again, he's built for it, though.
They punched through my defenses.
You're fine. Alright, who's up? Mastiff, do you want to just go, like, stomp that thing?
My attention.
Oh, you can't quite move that far. Well then, go point blanket or something. I'm curious. Let's see. How much... Is that the one on the right arm? Maybe it's the AC-10. Let's kill all this, and I'm just going to do a single shot into this thing and see if it's enough to kill it.
Affirmative.
It is, okay.
Never stood a chance.
So that gun on the right arm is pretty powerful.
Reading you loud and clear.
I feel like maybe Viking should take point here. I don't want her charging headfirst into whatever hostiles we're about to face. So I'll let Viking do that. Especially since, you know, Mastiff is still waiting for his next turn. This is your last chance, cousin. Don't make me order your death. Do whatever you must, betrayer. A headstrong fool to the end. Damn you for this. Captain Haas, destroy them. Mastiff, my cousin, all of them. Leave no survivors.
As you command, my lady.
Alright, so there's our new mech enemy. I thought I was still able to attack here. Do I not have any line of sight? Appears I do not, so we'll just brace. He's going to jump. He's got a Wolverine. I'm not super familiar with that one, but it looks pretty heavy. I don't think he did any damage there. I think it all hit.
My armor.
Oh, okay. Apparently it did. To me, it looked like it hit the terrain or something, and he split his fire there, although that missed as well. Interesting. He overheated himself in like a single turn.
I'm listening.
Let's see. Is there any cover that you can get to? That appears to be cover. So let's get you there and we'll have you fire barrage on him.
Good. I'm moving.
And since he's already cooking off his own mech, I don't think we'll need to do too much here. Oh, and we have to deal with these turrets as well. Let's see. He's got a jump jet. Maybe we should take the jump jet out. Although that's got a gun and ammo. 22% or 33 on the torso. Let's see. Did the shoulders have anything? Some heat sinks. You know what? That would be worth it if we could take out some of his heat sinks. He's already having enough trouble with heat. If we made it worse, this would certainly help us. Didn't seem to destroy anything though, unfortunately. Alright, so the turrets are firing on us. I don't think that really did much, but we can't ignore them. Obviously we need to do something.
Orders.
Just keep moving up, man. Keep moving up. I'll put you in cover there.
Fall in behind me.
And we're going to give it all the guns again. We're not going to mess around. So let's get those medium lasers in the LRM-10, and we're going to keep targeting this guy. 54 on the torso, may as well.
Our weapons are go.
And that looks to be pretty effective. We also unsteadied him, so one more good hit might knock him down. I think we'll let Viking take this one. Yeah, move up to there and... No, what are you doing? Move to here. And we'll fire point blank. So we have cover, he doesn't. Everything's armed. Let's give it to him. Destroyed the jump jet, but actually didn't do a whole lot of damage there. I keep meaning to check what the weight class of that thing is, but I keep forgetting. So let's do it this time. You're still fine, so I'm going to leave you a little bit exposed here for a better shot. I don't think those will take too much damage to kill, so let's keep focusing on him. It's just a medium mech. It seems heavier than even the Centurion, though, but I guess not.
Eliminating hostiles.
Nice. Down he goes.
Hostile unit down.
I think her mech has a lot of armament on it. It seems like it. She seems to hit a little bit harder than the others, although I don't know how resilient it is. But it makes sense that she would have a pretty badass ancestral battle mech. God, what is happening with this camera right now? Alright, Mastiff.
Talk to me.
Let's get you moving up. We'll put you there. No, let's not do that. Screw it, we'll do it. You should have a line of sight on both turrets anyways. And I don't think it'll take more than one volley to kill it. So why don't you target that one? We'll use everything just to be sure.
Roger.
And yeah, that was enough. I think it was just enough. Because it looked like a lot of those initial shots went to the armor, and then it barely had enough left to deal with the whole integrity, so... I mean, either way it worked. Let's get her into cover there, and I think she'll be able to take that out with a volley. We might need to worry about heat management here. We'll see. Yeah, so let's ditch the lasers. I think most of her other weapons hit harder anyways, and lasers do give off a lot of heat. So that looks to be just enough to get us under. And hopefully it's just enough to get this thing dead as well. It sure looks like it, yeah. It's like 20 rockets dead on. That's what I like to see. So there's all of our hostiles out of the way. We'll keep pushing up. I think we have to get everybody into this zone, but let's see. Mastiff, let's put you here and have you facing back away from where the escape thing is. What is this thing? Evac zone, or whatever. You can move closer to it, and Viking, I'll put you up here somewhere as well, maybe there. And that's objective complete. Thank the gods you made it, Kamea. Captain Halverson's prepping the engines now. In another 5 minutes, we'll be ready to depart. 5 minutes is a long time. Viking, you see Lady Arano to the docking ramp. When she's aboard, come back to me. We'll hold this pass against whatever comes.
Thank you, Sir Rashu. Thank you both. I won't forget what you've done for me today. I promise.
Alright, well, let's get her into the zone there then.
I'm on my way.
All units, advance. I want you to take down that dropship. Destroy everyone and everything that stands in your way. Oh man, that's a lot of stuff. Alright, Viking, I trained you for this. We'll fight side by side, watch each other's backs. Above all else, we will keep Lady Arano safe. Protect the dropship, that's all that matters. Warning, engine heat is critical. Warning, error, shutdown initiated. Error, reactor offline. Weapons offline, system inoperable. Trouble with your blackjack, Viking? Shame. That's been happening to a lot of Royal Guard battle mechs lately. You have numbers on us, and you've resorted to sabotage. And you're gloating about it? You've got no honor, you vicious little brat. Not you nor your backstabbing father. Shut your mouth, old man. My father is a great man, and I swear to all the gods, you will suffer if you insult him again. Your father is a coward, and so are you. Viking, I want you to eject now. Punch out. You're no good to anybody in a broken mech. And I won't let you die today. Eject, mech warrior, now. That's an order. Now come for me, Victoria. Your teacher is waiting. Come and show me what you've learned. Oh man, that's a lot for one guy.
Successful.
Alright guys, well that's where we're going to leave it today. This video has gone on longer than I intended, but that's fine. If you guys would like to see more of this game, definitely let me know by hitting that like button or leaving me a comment. I'll try to put out a lot more of it if I have time. Again, I'm free to play it up until the release so long as I'm not doing a formal review. So if you'd like to see more, I'll try to crank out as much as I can in that time space, and then after release, obviously, I can do whatever I want with the game. So, we'll leave it here, as I said. If you guys would like to see anything in particular, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just kind of, keep playing the campaign. But thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing this game with you. I'm having a blast. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to playing more. And I will see you guys back here for the next episode.